My life as an artist began before I ever picked up a paintbrush or even mixed colors. That would come much later. My grandmother made a point in saying that this baby has unusually large hands. I wonder what he would do with them. I am living out the prophecy of my grandmother. Coming from a big family, it was understood by my family members, my siblings and I, that it was important for us to pursue college. You see, I was able to witness all of my other siblings complete high school and begin working on their collegiate career. But my story didn't happen that way. In 2006, at the Martin Stadium, I can recall family members there ready and excited to celebrate this great and grand accomplishment. But you see, I was able to walk across the stage, but my heart was still heavy. My family members, they knew the truth. You see, I learned a month earlier that I didn't pass my science exit level text test. I had to witness my mother plead with the school administrators as to anything that could be done for me to at least get another attempt or pass the test before graduation. But unfortunately, nothing could be done other than take the test the summer of the same year. After that rough transition, I didn't exactly see myself as a shining star. I even started to begin to struggle with the mentality of defeat, but thankfully, I passed that test. I began to take wisdom from my parents and starting at a college that was close to home, Panola College in Carthage, Texas. Little did I know, one trip to a museum would change my perspective on everything. I remember when I went to the DMA, the King Tut display. We see a lot of this stuff on the Discovery Channel, but actually seeing it in person is totally different, which, correlates with when I create art and you see a picture, you have an expression, but when you see it face to face, you have a different expression, a different connection, if you will. Back at Panola, with a new fire in me, I began creating work non-stop. Something that awoke in me at that museum was definitely blossoming and coming to life. I could not help but to create art. I began to create so much work that my art professor pitched the idea of having a solo exhibition. On April the 2nd of 2008, that idea became reality. I became the first student to have a solo exhibition of my own personal work. The library was just full of my art. But one person in particular that was special, or two people, was Miss Karen O'Neill. She passed away a couple years ago, and she was so influential. She was my math teacher. She was so influential throughout the process of saying, you can do it, you don't have nothing to be afraid of. So that's one memory that I can really appreciate, because she kind of coached me through, along with my art professor at the time, Miss Ann Boland. And the turnout was extremely good, and it stayed up for a whole 2 weeks. In 2010, I married the love of my life, Miss Desiree Harris. A year afterwards, we were expecting our first child. 2 years after being married, in 2012 of May, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Fine Arts from the University of Texas at Tyler. During that same year of excitement, we were expecting our second child. Life was happening quick, and I had to really take care of my family. For 10 years, I worked in the environmental services field at what was then East Texas Medical Center. After 3 to 6 months of being a housekeeper and a floor tech, I was offered the role to become a supervisor. You see, even though I wasn't actively using art at my job, I was applying the respect and care my Panola College teachers showed me as I managed employees. Under the tutelage of Mr. Troy Horton, I became well-rounded with people and different personalities. This skill turned out to be exactly what I needed to launch my new career as an art teacher in 2017 in the Winona School District. My first experience being at the DMA was quite an eye-opener to all of the different types of art, all of the different types of cultures. So it allowed me to see that my style may be different from these cultures, but it can still fit in somewhere. And being an educator, it shows me that the kids can have different avenues to be able to create, and you don't have to create something that's just like somebody else. You can start something brand new and start a whole movement, you know, and be more contemporary versus being historic. So I think that was the most important part of me being at an exhibit when I was, you know, early in my, I guess, my little career. I think about the opportunity that I had, and I try to present that with the other students. And in most cases, the students can see that they don't have to be in a box. You can witness all of the other different types of art, and you can find your own way and be yourself. Most of all, be true to yourself. If we're not being true to how we create in our language, then we're not benefiting the people and the viewers that are looking at it. The variety of work I guess it's just so encouraging to me, because it lets me know that, you know, my work can fit in somewhere, you know, in that wide scape. Yeah. As I minister to students, I remember that my path was cloudy for a season. I remember the timing of the museum, or the kind words from a teacher or educator could be exactly the one thing that ignite the fire in a person or a student. To God be the glory for the things that He has done in my life. My name is Chauncy Williams, and this is my story.